Every once in a while, the used car market throws up a story so bizarre, so dripping with drama, that it feels more like a scene from a reality show than a salvage listing. That's exactly what's happening with the 2022 Mercedes-Benz GLS now up for auction on IAAI, a platform known for dealing in vehicles with complex histories. This luxury SUV isn't here because of a crash, flood, or even mechanical failure. No, it's made its way into the salvage pool thanks to a much more personal and fiery cause: revenge. According to the auction listing, this GLS has been officially marked with a salvage title due to vandalism. But this isn't some random act of teenage mischief or a street tag gone wrong. The message scrawled across the sides of this nearly new luxury SUV tells a much deeper story. Spray painted in large, emotional letters are the words, "I know you with her." The phrase appears on both sides of the vehicle, loud and unmistakable, as if whoever was responsible wanted to make absolutely sure their message wasn't missed by the person they were directing it at, or by anyone else, for that matter. It gets worse, or maybe better, depending on how you like your drama. Multiple windows have been smashed, including the rear glass. Overspray from the paint job even found its way onto the rear taillight, suggesting the vandal wasn't exactly concerned about being neat or surgical. No subtle key scratches here. This was emotional warfare delivered directly to a very expensive piece of German engineering. And so now, this $51,000 SUV is being auctioned off with all its scars, and more than a few questions. It has 47,501 miles on the odometer, so while it's certainly been driven, it's still relatively young by modern vehicle standards. Mechanically, it appears to be in decent shape, and the damage seems to be limited mostly to cosmetics, albeit very expensive cosmetics. The auction listing places both the vehicle's actual cash value and its estimated repair cost at $51,750, which could be a clerical oversight, or maybe someone's version of a very dry joke. Still, this isn't your average Craigslist special. Even with the spray paint and busted glass, this is a high-end luxury SUV, and fixing it might not be as daunting as one would assume. Replace the windows, clean off the paint, or respray the panels, and you could have a perfectly good GLS ready for a second life. That said, anyone who buys it will have to come to terms with its unique backstory, a story that could be tough to explain at the local valet or your kid's school drop-off line. In fact, IAAI themselves seem to acknowledge the drama that comes with this particular vehicle. In a now viral Instagram post, they captioned a photo of the defaced GLS with, "And now we all know." Then, with tongue firmly in cheek, they added, "Should be an easy flip, but you might want to take this one out of state." That's both a warning and a punchline, and it hits perfectly. Because while you might be able to buff out the paint and replace the glass, you can't exactly erase a reputation, especially if that reputation was painted in red across both sides of your car. Still, there's a real opportunity here for the right kind of buyer. This isn't a flood-damaged car with a rotting interior or a front-end collision that bent the frame. This is a very fixable, still desirable luxury SUV with a lot of life left in it. In a used market where prices remain high and good deals are increasingly rare, the savvy flipper might see this as a chance to score big, just so long as they can handle the optics. Of course, a paint job and new windows aren't cheap, but they're a far cry from needing to replace airbags or rebuild a transmission. And once this GLS is cleaned up, it will likely drive as well as any other Mercedes of the same model year, only with a much more interesting story attached to it. The big question is, would you drive it yourself, or would you fix it and sell it off to someone who has no idea about its tabloid-level past? There's an argument for both. Some people might find humor and character in the vehicle's origin story, while others would prefer not to roll around in someone else's public breakup. In the end, this story serves as a reminder of just how much life, emotion, and sometimes chaos can become tied up in a machine. A car like this isn't just a means of transportation. It was clearly part of someone's personal saga. Now, it's up for grabs, waiting to start a new chapter with a new owner. Whether that chapter takes place on the roads of another state or tucked quietly into a garage far from curious eyes is entirely up to whoever decides to take the plunge. If nothing else, the saga of this vandalized GLS proves that when it comes to used cars, truth really can be stranger than fiction. For the bold buyer, this could be the rare chance to grab a high-end SUV with a low entry price. If you're not afraid of a little heartbreak written in spray paint,